Alrighty, we are live. What's going on, Knicks Nation? The New York Knicks lose to the Philadelphia 76ers by a final score of 116 to 107. Tough game for the New York Knicks. Back-to-back game. The 76ers have been off since last Sunday, ladies and gentlemen. So the New York Knicks are victim to the NBA Cup schedule, and the scheduling just hasn't been fair to them. They played last night in Indiana. After traveling from Vegas to Indiana, they pull off a exhilarating victory, Jalen Brunson game winner. Then they traveled to New York to face a Sixers team that was well-rested. And boy, did they look well-rested tonight. I mean, VJ Edgecombe with a really good game in Madison Square Garden, jumping out the gym. Bouncy. Sixers look like just a step quicker than the New York Knicks tonight, right? And it sucks because, look, it's a loss at home. You're now 13-2 in Madison Square Garden. The New York Knicks have played 3 games in 4 nights. You got another one on Sunday. So these games are going to come quick, and that's the only downfall in playing in the NBA Cup final, right? I mean, in years past, I go back to the Lakers and the Bucks, right? After their Cup championship, they went on to go on quite a bit to lose a lot of games after their Cup championship, right? But hopefully we don't get to that point. But this game was just one of those games where the shots were short. They were missing open looks. OG Anunoby was missing everything for the New York Knicks. And Jalen Brunson was missing everything for the New York Knicks. The thumbnail is Mitchell Robinson. I thought probably Mitchell Robinson's best game as a New York Knick, right? Shout out to Big Mitch, man. 21 points, 16 boards, and he hit 7 of 8 from the free throw line. We love to see that from Big Mitch. So, and 2 blocks, 6 offensive rebounds. To go, he was dominant. Mitchell Robinson has been incredible. But yeah, man, just need rest. It seems like this Knicks team just needs rest right now, right? And maybe you could talk yourself into Mike Brown should have went with more of the younger guys tonight. But hey, no Josh Hart didn't play yesterday. No Karl Anthony Towns didn't play yesterday. No Mitch looked great. I thought Cat was okay tonight. Hart was like tonight, and this was a team that celebrated the NBA Cup prior to the game, and they just looked a step slow tonight, both offensively and defensively. And look, they had their opportunities, right? Appreciate you guys in the chat once again. Smash the like button, subscribe to the channel on this Friday night. This Rover Daniel says happy Friday. What's going on, Daniel? Grilled Mouth, what's going on? How are you? Mac Jean, what's going on? Chris Gotti says salute. Salute to everyone in the chat. Mac Jean says, yeah, schedule definitely sucks. Just Rover says, truth be told, I would have considered it a Christmas miracle if we won. Yeah, look, Knicks had their opportunities, right? Mikal Bridges, timely shots in that fourth quarter. OG Anunoby missing wide open shots tonight. He just looked dead. Like, he just looked like he had no legs tonight. OG Anunoby played yesterday. Timely shots in the fourth quarter yesterday. So, look, this was just, I guess you can chalk this up to a 76ers team that was well-rested. Again, they haven't played since Sunday, but in a league where you're not trying to make excuses at some points of the season, you kind of have to look at the schedule and be like, man, the New York Knicks definitely got screwed there. Because you win the Cup, you go to Indiana, you fly to New York, then you play in New York on Sunday, right? But these games are going to come quick, right? And I'm sure the NBA next year will fix that. as well as add some incentives, hopefully. But it is what it is. I mean, we got to talk about it, right? We got to talk about it. Appreciate you guys in the chat. Once again, smash the like button, subscribe, all the good stuff. Look, if you go to the box score, right, OG was brutal. OG Anunoby was brutal. 1 of 9 from the field, 2 points, 32 minutes, 0 of 4 from 3, and most of them were open. 3 boards, no steals, 1 block. Brutal. Brutal night for OG, but again, he looked tired out there, man. I'll give him a pass. You know, Cat rested 7 of 15, 1 of 5 from 3, 7 of 9 from the free throw line, 35 minutes. You know Mike Brown was keeping the minutes down. Look, OG 32, Hart 34, Brunson 37. That's a little higher than I expected, but Brunson was inefficient tonight. 7 of 22, 1 of 7 from 3, 9 assists, which is what you love. But everything came so hard for him, right? And the Knicks were struggling with the pick and roll at the end of the fourth quarter. They were struggling with defending Maxey and Edgecombe with the slips and the pick and roll. They were struggling with that duo simply because they in my opinion, they had no legs, and they couldn't find ways to defend that pick and roll, and that killed them, especially late in the fourth quarter, right? Bad Tyler Kolek game after his resurgence, right? Bad Tyler Kolek game, like really bad Tyler Kolek game. 15 minutes, 2 points, 4 turnovers. I mean, the turnovers in this game were brutal for this basketball team, and Kolek contributed with 4 of them. I mean, you had Cat with 3, Josh Hart with 3, Mikal with 2, Kolek 4, Clarkson 3. Clarkson had a bad turnover, too, off of an inbound pass. I mean, the end of the third quarter in this basketball game, I don't think I've ever seen anything like it. It was just a brutal sequence. It's like turnover after turnover from both teams, and it started with the Jordan Clarkson turnover out of bounds. But, yeah, Jerome says it happens. It was just an off night. Yeah. Look, and Brunson's answer to tired leg is to shoot contested step backs. I have confidence that Brunson will make those shots, but after what he did last night, come on. I mean, you know, these guys have been traveling a lot. These guys are human, right? We expect these guys. This is not 2K, right? I mean, these guys just got home right after being in Vegas for a while, and got to play again on Sunday, right? But hey, that's the nature of the business, right? That's the nature of the business, you know. But me personally, I'm going to chalk it up to tired legs. I'm going to chalk it up to just one of those nights where they just miss shots. And Mike Breen even said it on the broadcast. It's just a lot of missed shots, open shots, tired legs. I mean, the Knicks shot 25% from 3 tonight after being one of the best shooting three-point teams in the league, right? 25% from 3. 44% from the field, guys. That's not good, right? That tells you right there. That's those dead legs that have been up in the sky traveling. Like that's what that is. But man, oh man. Again, Mitchell Robinson, I personally think one of the best watches that I've ever seen from him. Probably and I know we have some doozies from Mitch, but he was incredible, man. 21, 16, 2 blocks. Unstoppable. You just need him to stay healthy, right? And he has been staying healthy, and he's just been dominant. More of the same from Mitch, and I love what I'm seeing. Saw a lot of the 2 big man lineups too. We had freaking Andre Drummond shooting threes tonight, guys. I mean, Andre Drummond was 3 or 4 from 3. Right? Corner threes too, open, splashing, hitting them. I mean, come on. Maxey, 6 of 12. Sixers shot 41% from 3. Knicks shot 25%. Man, they made their shots, you know, and they look like a team that was well rested, right? Mac Jean says Kolek got to learn how to be better in fast breaks. Yeah. Defensively, that's one thing that teams are going to do. They're going to attack Tyler Kolek. And Mike Brown has said it. Mike Brown has spoken to the young man, and he has actually been okay with that. But tonight, the 76ers, you could tell it was on their game plan. Attack Tyler Kolek when he's in the basketball game, and that's exactly what they did. And it seemed like every time they attacked Tyler Kolek, they scored. Right? Every time they attacked Tyler Kolek, they scored. Whether it was Maxey, whether it was McCain or Edgecombe. 76ers have, 3 or 4 guards that can kind of create. And the Knicks were struggling with their quickness tonight. It was kind of a bad matchup, yet the Knicks were still in this game up until the last 4 minutes, where it really got, where it really took a turn. So, but yeah, Kolek with a bad game. Transition, he needs to be better. He needs to be better contesting. He needs to, and look, I don't want to overreact. I don't. But the turnovers were bad from him. And one thing I thought was disappointing a little bit was Gershon actually played 3 minutes in this basketball game, hits a 3, gets an assist, and we don't see him. He comes in, hits a 3. He's facing his former team. If you're Mike Brown, I would play him more. He's facing his former team. Maybe he wants to stick it to them. And as soon as he comes in, he hits a 3, and I'm like, okay, maybe this is the Gershon coming out party. But he doesn't play. He only plays 4 minutes tonight, right? So I would have liked to see Gershon more tonight, as crazy as that sounds. But in the 4 minutes, I thought he was okay. And on a night where most of your guys didn't have it, like OG Anunoby, Josh Hart, throw Gershon in there, man. He needs to overcome his struggles. He needs to play through his poor play. And I thought, right when he came in the game, hits a 3, then we don't see him. I know, the confidence with him, Mike Brown probably, like Matt Jean says in the chat, Mike Brown lost confidence with Yabu. But I guess if you're nitpicking, I would have liked to see Gershon more tonight. 4 minutes, hits a 3. The crowd was actually cheering for him, right? As soon as he was spotting up for that 3, you heard the Garden crowd let's go, make it. He makes it, and the crowd cheers really loud. So, but hey, we didn't see him. But D-Robert got in a little bit for some defensive plays. Clarkson, efficient night, surprisingly, but bad turnover in that third. 3 turnovers for Clarkson, especially that inbounding play, which was kind of a big play because at that point, I think it was a tie game at the end of the third quarter, and the Knicks just couldn't get on a run, or they couldn't sustain a run in this basketball game. And especially when Edgecombe was awesome for them, and in the fourth quarter, especially late in the fourth quarter, was awesome for them. Appreciate you guys in the chat once again. El Figgy says teams are not watching film. Kolek needs to learn. Yeah, Kolek got attacked tonight a lot. He got attacked tonight a lot, and he was very, very poor with his decision making, right? But I don't want to kind of throw this game out the window. Look, 3 games in 4 nights. You got another one on Sunday. The travel has been shitty for this basketball team. It has been. Let's be real. 76ers, I'm going to repeat, have been off since Sunday. And boy, did they look like a team that was well rested. And the Knicks just look a step slow. No legs, short. Shots were off, right? 25% from 3, right? And that's what you get, right? They just look like a step slow, and they were. But again, no excuses. You out-rebounded. This is the craziest stat of the game, right? You out-rebounded them 57 to 36. 57 to 36. You out-rebounded them. And you lost 116 to 107. I'm not worried about tonight, man. I'm not worried about tonight. 26 assists. It was the turnovers. Turnovers tell me that they were tired. Because let's be real, the New York Knicks are one of the best teams in the NBA at not turning the ball over, right? They don't turn the ball over. And they had 18 turnovers tonight. I believe that's a season up there with a season high or match the season high. So only 5 fast break points, 60 points in the paint. Largest lead was 6. Yeah, man. Loud and Clear says, I blame the schedule on tonight's loss. Yeah. Shitty schedule, right? But we have to judge these games. These games count. The NBA Cup game didn't count, which sucks, man. You're 19-8. Right? Still in a good spot. Right? Still in a really good spot. Honestly, guys, I'm not even worried about tonight, man. I'm not. Because this rebounding number just told me everything I needed to know. They still out-hustled the 76ers on the glass, but their shots just weren't falling tonight. Right? But Mitch was awesome. That's something, that's a positive I could take away from tonight. Mitch was awesome. And he was dominant. But yeah, look, it's you got another one of these things on Sunday, right? Against the Heat team. I believe the Miami Heat are coming into the Garden. So Sixers side, you had Edgecombe balled out, Maxey balled out for them. George did squat, and McCain was fine, but Drummond was like a problem, right? Active, handsy. It is what it is, man. One of those games. Obviously, you want to win. You want to win all these games, but especially what the New York Knicks have been going through, like lately with the travel and they just need rest. Just look like a team out there that needs rest, and that is one of the downfalls of advancing to the NBA Cup final, right? And Mike Brown spoke about it, and I'm hoping that the NBA does something for the teams that advance to the final. Like, at least give them 3 days off after the final, 3 or 4 days off after the final, like some of these other teams got. And then we just figure it out from there. But this is still new. It's only year 3 of this in-season tournament. But they have to figure something out, because once injuries start to happen and pile up, and you're just going to blame the NBA Cup, the extra game, right? But it is what it is. Dis Rover says, we'll be fine. Yes, we will. We'll be fine. El Figgy says, we wasted a win on Mitchell's best game. El Figgy says, no Embiid, no Kelly Oubre. Maxey just got over the flu. Should have been an easy win. Look, I wanted this one too, El Figgy. I thought the kind of not turning point, but the point in this game that really bothered me was the end of the third quarter, where the Knicks just had silly turnovers, man. Tyler Kolek, silly turnover. Clarkson, a silly turnover. OG Anunoby just had no lift. He got blocked at the rim. Philly reviewed it. It was a clean block. Missed his open threes that he normally hits, right? So, they missed shots, but bad Kolek minutes tonight, right? Bad Kolek minutes. And when you're facing a team that has multiple guards that can create, especially when you're a step slow on a back-to-back, you're going to lose. And that's exactly what the New York Knicks did tonight, right? They lost. So rest up, though. That's my final thoughts on tonight's game. Just they need rest, in my opinion. They've already proven to us a lot this year, and I'm just chalking this one up as a tired night. A tired night. Appreciate you guys in the chat once again. Chris says Kolek played so bad today. Yes, he did. Todd says, yeah, but if we were gonna have a downer, I'd rather it be on the road against the Suns or something. Yeah, look, losing to the Sixers at home stinks. The Sixers are 15-11 on the season. Right. No Joel Embiid. That was announced today. Embiid was out due to injury management. I mean, they've been off for damn near a week, and Embiid was out still. Chris says this has got to be OG's worst game of his Knicks career. Hey, you're not wrong, man. You're not wrong. I can't think of a worse one. 1-9 from the field, 2 points, 0-4 from 3, 2 turnovers, plus minus minus 11. Yeah. Like at that point, I would have just pulled the plug on OG. Like I know it's so hard to do, especially because yesterday he was bad up until the fourth, and then he hit the shots, got the game-winning steal, and you're like, okay, let's go. So maybe Mike Brown thought he could replicate that tonight, but unfortunately he didn't. Cat with 3 turnovers, and I thought they were pretty bad. He had a swipe through that I don't know if he got fouled, but he was arguing with the ref and it was a turnover. And it's just, I don't want to nitpick too much, but that's kind of like the bad Cat that we don't want to see, right? That little stupid dumb stuff. Surprisingly, he 4 personal fouls, but I don't think he picked up his first foul until the second quarter, if I'm not mistaken. So he was rested. He didn't play yesterday. Hart just a little hesitant on his threes. 1 of 3 from 3, 10 boards, 6 assists from Hart, 5 points, a little hesitant. Mikal had the tough assignment guarding Maxey. And again, the Knicks couldn't figure out that Maxey pick and roll with Edgecombe to end the game. And Sixers hit some timely threes, some tough threes, especially Edgecombe. And that's how the New York Knicks lost, right? Let's go to the updated standings, by the way. Boston beats the Heat in Boston. See, this is what I'm talking about. OKC was in Vegas, right? I'm just going through this. Were they in? Did they play a game after Vegas? Yes, they did. They did. Okay, so they lost that game against San Antonio, right? Then they had the 14th, the 15th, the 16th, the 17th. They had 4 days off in between their next game. Okay, like that's exactly what needs to happen for especially the cup winner or the teams that advance to the cup final. Instead, you win, and then you got the Pacers to, you only got a day off, then you got the Pacers. Again, I sound like I'm complaining, but come on, man. It's common sense, right? It's common sense. Get it together, NBA. It's embarrassing, honestly. It's embarrassing. Mac Jean says McBride was the answer for McBride. No update on McBride, right? The New York Knicks 2 weeks ago said that we were going to get an update within a week, and it's been more than a week, and still no update on Deuce McBride. Hopefully, it was reported that he had a high ankle sprain. The Knicks didn't report that, right? They just said he had an ankle sprain, and he'll be evaluated in a week. No report on Deuce McBride. He's doing some basketball work, said Mike Brown, but really no update on Deuce McBride. So, yeah. Appreciate you guys in the chat once again. Eric is a Sixer fan in the chat. Eric says, why? Eric, I can't even. I'm going to try to articulate what you're trying to say. Why are sorry Knicks thought they were going to win? If they were at full strength with Embiid, they would have kicked your butts. Okay. All right, man, because the 76ers have been playing really well this season, especially with Joel Embiid. Come on now. El Figi says we've hit a harder schedule coming late January, early February, stack these wins against bad teams. 76ers, look, they are, I wouldn't call them a bad team. Like, they're top 6. They're 15-11. I'm not going to call the Sixers a bad team. They're kind of deep and they're guard heavy with guys that can create their own shot. And the Joel Embiid is a wild factor, wild card for them, right? You don't know if he's healthy or not. That team is going to give some teams issues in the playoffs, not the Knicks, but they're going to give somebody an issue in the playoffs, right? They're not a bad team. They're not. And you brought up the Knicks schedule, and look, these games are coming, right? These games are coming. McBride update is that he resumed basketball activities and he's day-to-day now. Okay, I didn't see that. Appreciate you bringing that info, Ray. I didn't see that. Yeah, look at the schedule, right? So you win the NBA Cup, right? December 16th, 1 day off. Right? Remember what I just showed you? OKC got 4 days off in between their cup loss. So it sucks because you're going to reach a point where next year you're going to have teams punt on this cup because they're going to be like, look, I want the days off. I'd rather the days off than do all that traveling to Vegas. Well, the final's not in Vegas next year. It's probably going to be at a college site, neutral site. But you're going to have teams be like, why would I put my players and body through all of this travel when I would rather have a little all-star break in the middle of December like some teams have had. But if you advance in the NBA Cup, you kind of get screwed because you don't get that break, right? Now, if you win it, I mean, you win it, you celebrate like the New York Knicks did, but there needs to be some schedule change or more of an incentive to winning the thing. Like most teams in the NBA have had like 4 or 5 days off because they weren't in the cup. Well, if you're in the cup, you got to play. Like, you got to play like the games are normally on your schedule. Rather than most teams have multiple days off. And it sucks. So I feel like next year the NBA has to do something about that. Because if the New York Knicks won the NBA Cup, they should at least have 3 days off. At least. Especially if you're making them travel to Vegas and celebrate, right? They're celebrating that you thought that they were going to have a hangover in Indiana, and it looked like it, and they pull off this amazing win, right? And that just told us everything we need to know about this team. But a back-to-back after that, and you really expect them to keep up their high energy after what they've gone through? So, shitty schedule. Especially if you win the NBA Cup and the New York Knicks won it. And hopefully the NBA and Adam Silver, they're noticing this stuff, man, because this can't happen. It's honestly absurd. Somebody's going to get hurt, but hey, these guys get paid millions of dollars, right? And at the end of the day, they're playing basketball. So, but yeah, Sunday, Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday. So it's 1 day off in between these games now, right? Sunday versus the Heat. Then you go to Minnesota. Then you got Cleveland, Atlanta, New Orleans, San Antonio. Man, when is the next time the Knicks have 2 days off? These games are every other day, right? 21st, 23rd, 25th. Move the chat. 27th, 29th, 31st, the 2nd, the 3rd. That's a back-to-back. The 5th, the 7th, the 9th, the 11th. The next time the Knicks, let me bring this down. The next time the New York Knicks have 2 days off is the 12th and the 13th of January. So these games are coming. These games are coming, right? And they have a back-to-back in that. So they're going to make up for these games. They're going to play a lot of games. Every other day, the New York Knicks play. You know? But let's be fair. The New York Knicks, early on in the schedule, they did have a light schedule. They were off some days. But after you win the cup, you come back, you play a back-to-back, and you don't have multiple days off until the 22nd and no, wait. 15th, 17th. No, the 12th and the 13th of January. That's crazy. And yeah, Grilled Mouth says we got Philly on another back-to-back. Yeah, Philly again on the second leg of a back-to-back. At least it's a home and home. At least that's a home and home. El Figgy said that's what it was like in the 90s. Well, it's 2026, El Figgy, and the NBA is trying to get away from that. The NBA is trying to get away from that, excuse me. Especially now with all these calf injuries and these Achilles injuries and these, it's a problem in all major sports. Guys are getting hurt at a record pace, right? And right now, the New York Knicks have to be careful because, yeah, you play the cup, you won it, cool, great, exciting. You saw the NBA Prime crew hang the banner, by the way. That was funny. They hung the banner in their studio. Pretty cool, by the way. But now these games are every other day. One day, game. One day, game. One day off, game. At Atlanta, at New Orleans, at San Antonio. Three games in 4 nights. Yeah, man. Look, I'm not the one to sit here and, look, these guys get paid millions of dollars to play basketball, but it's a shitty schedule. Like, it's a really bad schedule that the New York Knicks have currently, right? Really bad because if they won the NBA Cup, right? The crazy thing is if they lost versus Orlando, they would have had all these. They wouldn't have played until the 18th, right? So it is what it is, though. We'll be all right. I mean, we'll be all right. Guys coming back. Mitch dominated. I'm not worried. We'll be all right. Because Knicks are still, one of the best teams in the NBA. Just a shitty schedule that they got handed to them against the Philadelphia 76ers. And, but shout out to Mitch, man. Honestly, one of Mitchell Robinson's best games as a New York Knick. And he was dominating tonight. Dominating, man. I mean, and the thing I love is that he was hitting his free throws. He's hitting his free throws. His crowd was cheering for him. Missed only one free throw from Mitchell Robinson tonight, man. Round of applause for that. Look, he's probably been working on it. He's probably been in the gym working on his free throws. And all we need from Mitch is 60% at the line. Like, I know he's not going to shoot, 7 of 8 from the free throw line. I mean, that would be amazing. I hope. But the New York Knicks need Mitchell Robinson to hit these free throws, especially in the playoffs. Because if he's not hitting his free throws, teams are going to hack a Mitch and they're going to take him out of the basketball game. And that is not what you want because we've seen, especially last year, when Mitchell Robinson is on the court in the playoffs, he is impactful, super impactful. So he needs to start hitting his free throws. And tonight was a positive step in the right direction for Mitchell Robinson, right? Only missed one free throw. And hopefully he can build off of this. All we're asking is 60%. And I'll take it. 50%, right? I mean, he was at 19%, 20%. He wasn't going to stay there, right? That was bad. The night when he was at 19%, that was bad. Seven of 8 from the free throw line from Mitch. And even in Vegas, he was right. He's been good. Let me go to his game log. Yeah, like 1 of 2 versus Orlando. Toronto game was 2 of 8. Yeah, I shouldn't say he was good. I mean, he was 1 of 2 at the free throw line in Vegas, but 50%, I'll take that. Right, 87% from the line tonight. 87%. I wonder if he tweaked something. I would think that he did. But I wonder if he tweaked something. 26 minutes for Mitchell Robinson. He did not close, right? Did not close. Again, back-to-back nights where he didn't close, but I thought he was really good. Dominant. He didn't close versus Spurs either, but he was really good in that game. But still on the minute restriction, but you're seeing when they're giving Mitchell Robinson more time off, he's playing more. Like Mitch had 2 days off, and then he played 26 minutes, right? So I would expect maybe versus the Heat, you get that to 20 minutes. You don't want to really push it. Has yet to play 30 minutes tonight. Tonight was Mitchell Robinson's most minutes of the season, right? 26 minutes tonight for Mitch. Most minutes of the season. Yep. Most minutes of the season for Mitch. Shout out to Mitch. One of those games, right, guys? Like, move on. Sunday, got him again. Rest up tonight, ice up. Don't do anything tomorrow. Stay home. Maybe the guys do some Christmas shopping. I don't know, but stay home, relax. No practice tomorrow, clearly. Probably not going to be practice for a while, right? But ice up, rest up, and they're home. They're in their beds, right? They're in their beds, and we just on Sunday we got another one. But this is the way the schedule is, right? Dis Rover says we couldn't stop their shots tonight because we had no legs. Yeah, no legs. No legs tonight for the New York Knicks. No legs tonight for the New York Knicks. All right, let's get to Yuri in the Discord. Once again, you guys can hit up the Discord. Got these NBA Cup shirts on the website. NBA Cup champion shirts on the website that I just put on the Knicks Nation shop website. Make sure you guys check those out. Yuri, welcome to the Knicks Nation post-game show. Yuri, you there?
Hey, I'm here. I have my mic muted. Listen, chalk up tonight's still us to have no legs.
Yeah.
I'm not really worried about it. It happens. I will say, though, if you're going to have the NBA Cup every year,
you got to change
injuries happen all the time.
Yeah.
Right? Part of sport. But record time. I agree with you. I think Adam Silver needs to look at this. Basically say, okay, if I'm going to be doing this, whatever team wins needs like a week off or something.
Yeah, like there should be no world where the team that wins the NBA Cup gets a day.
If you're going to do it every year, which they look like they are.
Gets a day off, and that day is used to travel to Indiana and then plays the next day. That's dumb.
The fact that we won that game shocked me.
Yep.
Till this day.
Yep.
I'm not even joking when I told you. I told my dad the same thing. I'm like, I'm shocked that they won this game. Like, what do you mean I'm shocked? The Knicks were supposed to lose this game. End of story.
El Figgy, what do you think about this, Yuri? El Figgy says, why didn't Jameson get a little time?
I don't know.
Yeah.
That's what I'm wondering myself.
Yeah.
I think it would have been a good night to throw in Jameson.
Look, he was good versus the Pacers. Well, look, we can say, why didn't Jameson get time and why didn't Yabo get more time? Yabo hits a three. And, for a player that has no confidence right now.
He's developing it.
Yeah.
Listen, I'm done with the Yabo conversation, Ant.
You done? That's it?
I'm done with it.
I'm trying to grasp at every little straw, man. I'm done with the Yabus.
Yeah. I'm done with the Yabu convo. We'll see what the Knicks do with him, but listen, crappy schedule you got coming up, right? You're on a road trip. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But you're getting a day rest. You feel me? Where you don't do anything. I'm probably sure Jalen Brunson and Josh Hart's going to go over to the Eagles-Redskins game tomorrow, I think. Probably going to hang out. But listen, hey, this is the NBA.
Yeah.
People get paid.
This is what these guys...
I'm just glad no one got injured.
Exactly.
But I will tell you something, though, too. I wouldn't be surprised if Philly's a top 4 seed at the end of the season. They're taking a step forward. But Philly teams usually take a step back.
Look, I wouldn't be surprised either. The East is... I don't know what to think of the East. Like, I don't know what to think of the Cavs anymore. Like, the Cavs are playing
Detroit, New York, Toronto, Boston, Philly, Magic, all top 1 through 6.
Yep.
Playing Miami Heat, Cleveland.
There could be a world where the Knicks get matched up with Philly in the first round again. That wouldn't
surprise me.
Nope.
I wouldn't surprise me.
Yeah, it wouldn't. It wouldn't. And the Knicks will beat them.
Which I expect.
Yeah. Look. There, Yuri. They just need rest, obviously. Tough game, but I doubt Mike Brown is making excuses right now in the post game. In fact, I haven't heard what he said in the post game.
No, he's not. He's not. He's
No,
not making excuses.
no. I
He's
said I
holding them
doubt he's
accountable.
making excuses. Uh,
Oh, you doubt? Yeah, well, guess what? You're right. He's not. He's basically calling everyone out on the team for being out hustled right now.
oh, okay. Yeah, I'm
Which,
gonna play this out in a bit, but yeah, man. Got anything else, Yuri?
yeah, no. But one thing I'm gonna say, and Knicks Nation, don't panic. It's one loss. We all know this group is resilient. They're gonna fight back. Got Miami coming up. They
Yeah,
get a day rest. At least they're getting a rest in every other day, and thank God for that.
yeah,
Because what's crazy to me is the Knicks are doing this, all this traveling. They managed to pull one out in Indiana. I'm more impressed with the Indiana win.
yeah. That one's crazy. That one was crazy last night.
And
Hey,
I'm fine with that. It's like, listen, if you crap the bet against Philly, I'm not even mad. Just don't lose to Indiana.
yeah, and I see the Philly fans in the chat. I see the Philly fans responding to me on X, talking shit, but it is what it is.
Yeah, let them talk.
Yeah, let them talk. I mean, they don't got that much. Yuri, appreciate the call.
Yep.
Shout out to Yuri calling into the Knicks Nation post game show. Yeah, Mike Brown is not making excuses for the New York Knicks. Let me just post what he is saying, play what he is saying for you guys. Mike Brown breaks down what went wrong for tonight's loss.
I just thought our spacing wasn't great all the time. And, normally we have pretty good spacing. Normally we get to the play after the play, but we get into our actions a little quicker. We were a little slow getting into our actions, not just bringing the ball up the floor at times because they kept turning us, but also starting the dominoes. Like if we started with a pick and roll, we walked from point A to point B, and when you walk from point A to point B and it takes you 5 seconds, the defense is sitting there loading up. And then when you don't put any pressure on the paint, it's
Yeah, no pressure.
When we
ball
did
pressure
set
tonight.
the screen,
Philly was getting everywhere.
the
Philly was getting anywhere they wanted. You gotta give Philly a lot of credit. We had 18 turnovers. This Mitchell Robinson putback slam was that was nasty. Career night for Mitch. Not a career night, but one of my best watches for Mitchell Robinson. What's this? Has he ever scored 20? What did he score? Has he ever scored 20? 21 and 16 in a game? I don't think so. So I would call this a career night. I don't think he's ever done that. More Mike Brown.
hey, you got to give Philly a lot of credit. They got up into us, and it bothered us a little bit. We had 18 turnovers. The game was lost in the turnover game. We had 18 of them for 16 points compared to their 11 for 2 points. Not every time they were in us we turned it over, but I think just the cumulative impact of it or effect of it throughout the course of the game caused us to turn the ball over. So give them a lot of credit for doing that, and which helped them get a win. I thought we had some pretty good looks that normally go down for us that didn't go down for us tonight.
Yeah.
But heck of a game by Philly.
Yeah. Pretty good looks for the New York Knicks. Didn't go down for them tonight. Chris says NBA screws the teams that don't play in the NBA Cup Finals. Not only do stats don't count, but they play right after with no rest. Yeah. And it's unfortunately, the stats back it up. I think Alan Hahn on his show today and prior to the Knicks game brought up some stats like the Lakers after they won the Cup, they took a dip a little bit. The Bucks after they won the NBA Cup, they took a dip a little bit. Now the Knicks had this big win yesterday. You don't want to fall in that trap, right? Still got another one on Sunday versus a Heat team that has beaten you this year, right? And But it should be a game, and hopefully we get Deuce back. It should be a game where you should be able to win. Let's get back on track on Sunday, and let's go. You're playing a game every other day. You don't have multiple days off until January 12th, right? That's it. So every other day you're playing a game. You're in San Antonio for New Year's Eve. So, but it's the life of the NBA, man. I like these guys get paid money to do that, but it still doesn't. It's not an excuse to have a crappy schedule because you won the NBA Cup. So you kind of get penalized by winning the Cup in terms of scheduling, where you should get rewarded for being the last man standing in that tournament. So, but, it is what it is. El Figgy says Knicks should be better than the Pacers and Sixers. No one B, no Oubre, and a recovering Maxey. El Figgy. So, El Figgy, were you upset tonight that the Knicks lost? Or do you chalk this up to just, it seems like you were you're kind of upset that the New York Knicks lost tonight. And it seems like, I know you're not one for excuses, but sometimes you are. Sometimes, you'll say, look, the Knicks, they need rest. They've been traveling a lot, but, let's go. El Figgy said, let's learn and keep moving forward. Hopefully our boys get some, yeah. El Figgy's trolling. You guys think El Figgy's trolling? Look, you have your starting five out there, right? But they miss shots, and I equate that to dead legs. I do, especially OG. OG tonight was bad. OG tonight was bad. Chris Gotti says Spurs got an easy schedule right after the Cup. Look at the teams they faced and are facing. Yeah, look, I showed you guys that Oklahoma City schedule, right? They're currently on a back-to-back, but around the NBA, you have OKC, Minnesota, Miami lost to Boston. We play Miami. Chicago lost again? I mean, Cleveland lost again? This was tonight? Oh, this was yesterday. No, December 19th. They lost again? What is going on in Cleveland? Man. The big bad Cavs, right? The big bad Cleveland Cavaliers are 15-14. If they keep this up, they might fire their coach. Because that is a drastic change from last year after setting records and winning they won like 60 games. They won like 60 plus games last year. And they're 15-14. Life could be worse, guys. Life could be worse. I am grateful that the New York Knicks have yet to take a dive like this, because normally teams, when they're good, sometimes they have down years. Well, the Knicks have been consistently good for the last 3-4 years. They made the playoffs, right? They've been consistently good. They haven't taken a dive like this. 15-14 for the Cavs. Coach of the year, yeah. Y'all shocked at Cleveland's ass? Honestly, I am. I'm shocked that they're losing the way they're losing. They don't have Mobley. We faced them Christmas Day, right? So the way they're playing, that should be an ass kicking, right? Especially the way Cleveland's playing. Damn. That's surprising to me. So, second in the East, 19-8, 2 games back of Detroit. Raptors are 2.5 games back behind you. Celtics are 16-11. Do you guys think Tatum is returning this year? Because there's more and more steam on the Jason Tatum return. And that will kind of be interesting in the playoffs if he comes back. And they're not terrible like we thought they were going to be. Well, I didn't think they were going to be terrible. They still have a good squad. They still have really good. They still have a really good coach. Philly, I know that they got a squad in Philly. Edgecombe looks like a stud. Orlando's Orlando. Not worried about them. The Heat, 3-7 in their last 10. They've been playing poorly. So the Knicks need to win on Sunday, in my opinion. Christmas Day against the Cavs. Atlanta. And then you got the Bucks with Giannis. With Giannis out. But, yeah, guys. Tough one for the New York Knicks. Appreciate you guys in the chat once again. We'll be back on Sunday versus the Miami Heat. Appreciate you guys in the chat. Enjoy your weekend. Happy holidays to every single one of you guys. Be safe this weekend. And I will be back on Sunday. Once again, appreciate you guys in the chat. I'm Anthony from Knicks Nation. I'm going to get out of here. I'll catch you guys next time. It's always, let's go Knicks. Peace.
Brunson a three. Bang! Jalen Brunson does it again!